What's going on, YouTubers? It's the natural born thriller, and welcome everyone to, or should I say, the natural late nighter, because I'm pulling an all nighter. I secured this one from earlier, and for instance, to me watching Impact Wrestling when I did the reaction with Mr. Rican J21 with Jordan William, and yeah, no, basically from Rican J21's YouTube channel. And with this one, second one, we're into watching Late Night Dynamite. Speaking of which, welcome everyone to All Elite Wrestling Review, the show from September 23rd, 2020. I got the date of it probably. I think I may have put in 22nd by mistake. Okay, no, it's the right date I put. And this will feature results of AW Late Night Dynamite. For the very first time, AW has done a late night show where it tends to Dynamite. You will still get an AW Dynamite show on Wednesday nights later on at 8 p.m., which is great. So we get double of Dynamite this week because you gotta get the people what they want. Hashtag you gotta get the people what they want. And what they want is more AEW. And that too. You get your AEW arc that was on YouTube from September 22nd, 2020. You get your late night Dynamite tends to September 23rd, 2020, and later on, begin your Wednesday nights, you go regular scheduled time of Dynamite AEW on TNT from same date, September 23rd, 2020. So yeah, so basically, I'm about to do is give you results, quick results, because it wasn't much on the show here. It was our special, tends to a late Dynamite. We have Tony Schiavone, Lou J.R. Ross, Excalibur, and guest commentator Le Champion, the Demo God. For a little while, the millionaire, the million viewer man to say millionaire. I won't think about a millionaire, but Chris Jericho is a millionaire too. Yeah, Chris Jericho of the Inner Circle, and they're in obviously in Jacksonville, Florida, in Deli's place. And that being said, let's get into it. Let's get into it, folks. You already saw me on here earlier already. As a matter of fact, moments ago. Basically, you saw me in three videos live on YouTube. One from Mr. Ricky J21 pertains to the live reactions for Impact Wrestling, and the one I just did moments ago with the live reactions for Late Night Dynamite. But from the very beginning of the stream, I give you the quick results of what happened on AEW Dark from September 22nd, 2020, which means there'll be no review of it of that at all because I already get the results of that. But at the same time, let me recap the results of it, if I may. So let me show this portion of it of our avatar. AEW Dark. So quick AEW Dark results before we get to your results. What we're changed to Late Night Dynamite. So AEW Dark, the show from September 29th, 2020. Daily's place in Jacksonville, Florida. You have Excalibur, Taz, and Veda Scott, and later on, who ends up drama commentary for the rest of the night was Ricky Starks. Well, we'll get to that when we get to it. The opening match was the Dark Order, Evil Uno and Stu Grayson defeating Fuego del Sol and Rembrandt Louis. Match itself was pretty decent. Like I said, with the Dark Order going over. Well, actually, I didn't say that until now. But yeah, the Dark Order is a winning match, though, obviously. Then we get Absolute Ricky Starks defeating the Fallen Angel Christopher Daniels in a very good match where John Spears obviously got the win. And after that, he was on commentary the entire night with Taz, Excalibur, and Veda Scott. Then we had the Butcher and the Blade with Eddie Kingston at ringside, defeating Puff and Calvin Stewart. Now, Puff is this large dude. If you remember, I don't know if you may remember him, but if you did remember him, he appeared on AW Dynamite after All Out, where it pertains to who's going to be the best man for Kip Sabian. And Puff was that first guy who came out first, who thought who's going to be the best man. And I thought to myself, maybe it was just a random guy that they found backstage to to do this whole comedy skit. But no, he's actually a wrestler, and he's not that good of a wrestler anyways because he was moving so slow to run through the butcher in the corner. Um, he's all about donuts basically. Yeah, and obviously because look at him, he's a big large size of a donut. But the butcher and the blade ends up winning. Obviously, because I don't see Puff ever win a match ever. Even if he gets another chance to have another match on Dark, I doubt that. I never heard this guy before. I never seen this guy before. I can't believe he's even a wrestler with his size. AC Romero is in better shape than him. Hell, even the late Mabel, who's also known as Vincera, King. I mean, not King. King Mabel. You could say that at least. But also Big Daddy V. You know, Nelson Frazier Jr. He was more larger than than Puff, and he was in better. And he moved pretty good in the ring than Puff. Mm. Just saying. Will Hobbs defeat Serpentico being accompanied by Dr. Luther. The match I thought was pretty decent, with obviously Will Hobbs winning the match with his willpower. The Lucha Bros, Penta L0M, and Ray Phoenix being accompanied by Eddie Kingston defeating Don Tia, Smiley, and Max Stardom. Match itself was pretty decent because of the Lucha Bros, obviously. Not to take anything away from the jobbers, enhancement talents, or whatever you want to say. But those Lucha Bros shining in this match. The Dark Order featured 5 and 10, defeating Exter, Exter Gold and Rising. In the match, though, it was pretty decent, all right to at least. And I'm gonna say about that. In the Dark, obviously, the Dark Order wins because the Dark Order is one being pushed heavily as a strong stable in AEW. Joey Janela and Sonny Kiss defeating Daniel Garcia and Kevin Blackwood in the match. I thought it was pretty decent. Billy and Austin Gunn being accompanied by Colton Gunn. Colton, I gotta learn to say his first name. Colton Gunn, maybe. But the Gun Club defeating Mbadu and Cruz. Cruz was another basically had a gut like no other. But yeah, but the Gun Club is winning. Serena Deeb is back on AEW. Now she needs to be signed to AEW because she's still good in the ring. She still got it. She looks great. She looks in the best condition that I've ever seen her. She looked better. She looked better than how she looked better years ago when she was part at first in WWE with CM Punk and Luke Gallows and Joey Mercury, who pertains to the Straight Society. But yeah, she looks way better than what she did years ago. And now and look at her now with the everything that she does. That she took better care of herself, and and she's not in a better place because she was at a worse time, during that time, folks. And to see how she developed her life is pretty amazing. So yeah, she's got a second chance in life to better herself, and she looks in great condition. And I couldn't be more happier for her. And hopefully AEW decides to give her a contract because Serena Deeb is one of those female wrestlers that Thunder Rosa looks up to. Just saying. But it was Serena Deeb defeating Kylan King. And by the way, this match was good. Kylan King looked better in this match because of Serena Deeb. Because Serena Deeb is a very good wrestler too. She's one of the best in the world that needs that recognition and needs to be to be featured a lot more and be talked about a lot more like a Thunder Rosa. So yeah, Kylan King looked a good match. I mean, Kylan King's good too, but this match made her look a lot more better when she went up against Serena Deeb. Um, but yeah, but like I said, Serena Deeb as a winning, and there you go. Then we get to Ben Carter defeating Lee Johnson, and basically they had the follow up of Serena Deeb and Kylan King match, and boy did they ever! This was this to me felt like a Ring of Honor type of match, and to a degree, a New Japan Pro Wrestling type of match between Ben Carter and Lee Johnson. Hell, I'll even put this into to the level of NXT UK when it when it pertains to those type of matches too. This was a great match. This was one of the best matches that AW has produced on AW Dark, and these two guys didn't disappoint. These two guys are Ben Carter and Ben Carter and Lee Johnson, two homegrown talents of AEW, are shining on the AEW Dark. You really don't know who's going to win this match too. Some people may have thought Lee Johnson might win the match, but no. And in the end, it was Ben Carter winning the match, and then he ends up getting a reward of winning this match against Lee Johnson on the show because of the placement that he was on, or chance to late night Dynamite, which we'll get to. But this was by far the best match I've ever seen on AW Dark. And then we get the main event: Eddie Kingston defeating Brian Pillman Jr. This match was good. It wasn't on the level of Ben Carter versus Lee Johnson, not even on the level of Serena Deeb and Kylan King, but it was still good. And in the end, obviously, Eddie Kingston gets the win over Brian Pillman Jr. And there you go. So yeah, that was my quick results of AW Dark. I thought the show itself was good, and I remember I gave the show I think I gave it a 9 or a 9.5 out of 10 because of how good the show was. This was so far one of AW best shows featuring AW Dark on YouTube. And if you haven't seen it, folks, check it out. Especially check out the match of Ben Carter versus Lee Johnson. Hell, even give Serena Deebs and Kelly King's a good run for the monies too. So there you go. So that being said, now let's move on to AEW Late Night Dynamite. So the opening show was Chris Jericho coming out to do a long commentary. I mean, obviously he has come out first because the song Judas. I become man. I become man. Judas in my mind. I become man. I become man. Judas in my mind. Just saying. And the crowd was singing along too, obviously. So yes, Jericho's on commentary, and as always, Chris Jericho on commentary was pure gold, especially where we're seeing the main event with the whole team with Matt Sydal. Oh my God! But Chris Jericho was very good on commentary, as usual, because he is one of the best in the world at what he does, and anything that he does, he is the best. So the match open up the show was Ben Carter from AW Dark, who defeated Lee Johnson, and Ben Carter goes up against Scorpio Sky of SCU. This opening match was a pretty good match, and obviously in the end, it was Scorpio Sky getting the win because Scorpio Sky is the one that's being heavily pushed on AEW Dynamite. Coming off of All Out with the win over Dark Order at the time, and Scorpio Sky, he's got a mission, and we'll get to that later on once we get to it. But yeah, this match was pretty good between Ben Carter and Scorpio Sky. It really showcased what Ben Carter is made of, and also it shows a lot more potential of how Scorpio Sky has come a long way from WWE. Even though he didn't wrestle in WWE, not my knowledge if he did. But I remember him doing the skit of Daniel Bryan and Kane with the whole Dr. Shelby, the anger management thing. that's the best thing that's the best memory of it I could think of. Or should I say the worst memory because WWE is trash right now. But Scorpio Sky also pertains to him what he did in Ring of Honor, with the whole thing with SCU, and here he is right now, accomplishing a lot more on AEW. What pertains to him being one half of AEW Tag Team Champions was Frankie Kazarian. The first ever AEW Tag Team Champions was those two. And now he's come a long way. What pertains to him having matches on Dark and having his new theme song in the way, Reach for the Sky. And he's skyrocketing. Because the sky's the limit for Scorpio Sky. He's reaching for the sky, and what he's reaching for the sky is for an opportunity for a title, which we'll get to. I'll mention once I get to it. Then we get to Anna Jay of the Dark Order being accompanied by for a little bit or being escorted to Daily's place by Stu Grayson and Evil Uno of the Dark Order, and out comes Brandy Rose. I think I missed the yeah, actually I did. I did miss minutes of it because I was away. But of what I've seen, the match itself was decent. Brandy Rose was getting the offense in the match, and Brandy Rose, to give credit where credit's due for Brandy Rose, she worked pretty decent in the match. She didn't look bad. She didn't look terrible. She didn't embarrass herself, and I thought Brandy Rose held her own against Anna Jay. Even Anna Jay held her own in this match too. These two, worked a decent match. Which is the blooded rivalry feud that they're going through right now, which is to Dark Order and the Nightmare Family. Brandy Rose could have got the win. What pertains to her new finishing move now is the Charlotte Brandy, which is the punk kick. And Stu Grayson was coming out there for a distraction because he was getting pissed off, and Evil Uno is holding him back. And right there, well, that means Anna Jay's gonna win by distraction. She's gonna because Brandy Rose gotta be protected if she lose, and that's exactly what happened. But either way, I'm fine with that because Anna Jay needs to win. She needs it more than Brandy Rose because let's face it, Brandy Rose, despite me putting her over, she still is an awkward wrestler to look at in the ring. But I digress. But yeah, Anna Jay got the win, as she should, and Anna Jay right now in Dark Order, we're taking her, being the only woman in the Dark Order. She is coming on her own, being part of the member of the Dark Order. At one point, being called the star of the show, and I mean, obviously, we're taking her being on the Dark Order. She's still the star of the show, but at the same time, she's also the Queen Slayer. The Queen Slayer, excuse me. Number 99. Anna Jay still stealing the show because she is the star of the show, and more importantly, she is the star of the Smoke Show. Just saying. But yeah, Dark Order is gain a lot of good wins as of late, and that's great. It just shows the Dark Order is a strong faction at the end of the day on AEW Dynamite, and they're coming a long way. Hell, they're doing a lot better job of being a strong faction than WWE's retribution bullshit. Just saying. So before we get to the main event, we got Scorpio Sky being interviewed by Alex Marvez, and Scorpio Sky is putting over Ben Carter for his match from earlier, and says that basically he wants to go after the AEW TNT Championship. So yeah, Scorpio Sky's mission is still to win a singles gold in AEW, and one thing he's targeting is the AEW TNT Championship, which is the title holder, the Exalted One, Mr. Brody Lee of the Dark Order. And also Matt Sydal shows up and basically gives Scorpio Sky props and everything, and Scorpio Sky gives props back to them because these guys go back there's a Ring of Honor, even to a degree at WWE, for a little bit. But yeah, I thought they did a lot of good things on the show. catching up in the way. And there you go. And they also show some video packages of Mr. Brody Lee versus Freshly Squeezed Orange Cassidy, where it tends to hyping up the match for later on tonight on Wednesday night's Dynamite for the TNT Championship title between Orange Cassidy and the champion Mr. Brody Lee. And yeah, I thought it was a good video package they did there, and obviously they're gonna do it again later on once we get to that show later on tonight, and I look forward to it. And by the way, speaking of which, Mr. Rican J21 is available later on tonight, which means he will be doing his usual scheduling of live reactions for AEW Dynamite for September 23rd, 2020 on his YouTube channel, Mr. Rican J21. So hopefully you'll tune in for that one for later on tonight, and it's gonna be great. I'm just saying. But besides that, back to the show. But yeah, looking forward to and there's obviously a lot of things happen on the show too later on tonight as well. But that's basically one of the matches that's been hyped up to being a very big important match for Freshly Squeezed Orange Cassidy. So main event time. We got Matt Sydal to redeem himself after weapon that all out. Going up against Shawn Spears being accompanied by Tully Blanchard. And the match I thought was decent. I mean, it was a good, decent match, but as far as the main event, it didn't really blow my mind just saying, oh, this is a great main event or a good main event. I thought it was decent. A lot of good moves in the match too, and all. I enjoyed the match itself. But I could have picked a better wrestlers. No offense, nothing personal, nothing disrespectful to both parties in the match, Matt Sydal and Shawn Spears, but I would pick the better wrestlers to be in the main event to showcase the first time ever late night Dynamite show. That's just me, but it was still good, decent to a degree. In the end, it was Shawn Spears getting the win on Matt Sydal after Taylor Blanchard gave him a piece of metal that he's been doing on Dark lately, and Shawn Spears got the win because of that Matt Sydal. Both showing from both guys were pretty good. And after the match, Matt Sydal was going to be beat down again by Shawn Spears, but then Scorpio Sky comes out for the aid of Matt Sydal as Shawn Spears retreats, and that was the end of the show. Matt Sydal, Scorpio Sky stands along with Matt Sydal, and Shawn Spears retreats along with Tully Blanchard, and that was the end of the show. And that was your 1 hour special where it pertains to AEW Late Night Dynamite. So yeah, obviously Total Marble Streams was 3 matches. And my overall showing for the show for this All Elite Wrestling review, where it tends to give you a Late Night Dynamite results from September 23rd, 2020. I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. Good show. I actually wish it could have been better. Especially when it tends to producing on their first time ever doing their live their late night Dynamite show on TNT for AEW. So there you go, folks. I'm done. Thank you all for watching. For It's Natural Born Thriller saying peace on the streets. Peace on the streets. This was your All Elite Wrestling review, where it tends to give you late night Dynamite results from September 23rd, 2020. If this is the first time you're experiencing yours truly, Natural Born Driller, right here on my YouTube channel, right here on the platform of YouTube, during me doing the StreamYard, please hit that subscribe button. If you like what I did here, hit the like button. If you dislike what I did here, hit the dislike button. Either way, thank you all for viewing. Thank you all for spending your time day and night by tuning in to yours truly, Natural Born Driller. For I am Robert Serrano Jr. So, that being said, y'all stay well, stay safe, take care of yourself, everything that's going on in the world, wear your mask, love one another, God bless one another, live in peace and harmony for us all. I am out here. Ta-ta for now.